Well, we got an update on how many doses are expected to go out of both Pfizer and Moderna's vaccines next week and probably the week after. So the allocations for next week are going to be 4.67 million doses. That'll be 2.67 million of Pfizer's vaccine and 2 million doses of Moderna's vaccine. So that will be on top of the 5.9 million that went out this week from Moderna and the 2 million of Pfizer, and then last week 2.9 million. They are also saying that the week after that they should be sending out 4.5 million doses, which would get them to about 20 million. That's stretching into the first week of January there. So that is slightly behind schedule. They'd been planning on 20 million in the month of December. Moncef Slaoui also noting, he was asked about the pace of vaccination. We now know that more than 1 million people have received their first shot, according to the CDC in the United States. Moncef Slaoui, the head of Operation Warp Speed, saying that's a little slower than we thought it would be in terms of the pace of administration there. So how quickly will the country actually be able to administer these shots? He also gave a development update, saying on Johnson & Johnson, that phase 3 trial we knew is fully enrolled. He's expecting potential filing for emergency use authorization if those data are good in late January, early February. AstraZeneca potentially sometime after that. And he said Novavax is in discussions with the FDA now to start its U.S. phase 3 trial. That has been pushed back a couple times, guys, but they're talking about starting that fairly soon. So if these next vaccines work, it will, of course, add to the supply throughout next year. Sarah?
Meg, I have a question for you just about this whole of government approach to launch a campaign to get Americans on board with receiving this vaccine, which is going to be the other hurdle once you actually get these vials distributed to the places where the shots will actually be administered. Is there any sign that public opinion has changed after 2 weeks where we have seen so many public officials on both sides of the aisle receiving this vaccine?
Poll, so recently as to try to take into account the fact that people like Dr. Fauci have received their shot, for example. But we did see an improvement in people's willingness to get the vaccine after, of course, seeing that the phase 3 trial results were so positive at 95%. But still, you hear about some healthcare workers being absolutely over the moon excited to start getting these shots, and that is the majority opinion we hear. But there are other places where there is skepticism, and some doctors even, are hesitant to get this shot. And so that is an uphill battle in trying to make sure that as many people start to get protected as possible, and something that we will continue to see getting worked on as these vaccines get rolled out.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.